I really want to have an important, honest conversation with you. And I admit this is not going to tickle everyone's fancy. It's not going to tick a lot of people's boxes. But for those of you who do choose to stay, this is really important in terms of why I created this channel and ultimately what this channel can do for you. Okay. So I really want to be clear on that. And I want to center this around one specific point, which I think is important and will only serve to get better outcomes for you. And that point is this channel is not meant to provide financial advice. It never was intended to, it never is and never was, and never will be a substitute for proper financial advice. In fact, no YouTube channel should be that. But I don't speak for other YouTubers, so I can only speak for myself. Now, I've been doing this for 5 years. And for those of you who have been here since day one, you'll know why I'm so passionate about what I do and why I create this content. I was a kid who didn't really come from anything. My parents never had any money. My foster parents didn't have any money. I struggled with debt for 10 years. I've been homeless, sleeping on the streets. And I started working in financial services by complete and utter mistake. Um, I was forced to because I was on benefits at the time to go for an interview, and that interview turned into a job in financial services. And the rest, if you can call it that, is history. Now, with all of my personal struggles, I learned the hard way about money, how to use it, how to structure it. And all the while I was learning these things, because it was a byproduct of my job in my career, I just wish someone had taught me 1% of what I know now when I was 18, 19 years old. I started working in wealth management, Canary Wharf specifically, for an investment house, a pension fund in 2012. I was in my 30s. And that was the first time that I learned about investing. Before that, investing was a myth to me. It was at that point that I realized a couple of things. First, that people can put money into a market, and that market then makes them money without actually doing anything at all. And the second thing I learned was that when I was a teenager, I saw my dad absolutely petrified that he didn't have a pension when he was turning 60. I was a teenager at that point. In 2012, in Canary Wharf, the penny dropped for me that this thing called a pension, this is what it was. And that's what my dad was scared of. So this channel was born out of my journey through financial services spanning 18 years, where I worked in retail banking, corporate banking, wealth management, qualified as a mortgage advisor, qualified as a financial advisor, went off to advise people on their investments and structure their finances and write mortgages, to the realization that there must be a way that I can share what I know online in a way that people can engage with to gain information and education, which is why I want to stress that this channel is not here for financial advice. This channel is a conduit to provide information, to provide context, to allow you to perhaps understand what the next best question is in any conversation that we have. Now, I've been reflecting a lot over the past week around the new style of the content and covering the news. And I always try to be as level headed as possible, but also alongside that, give you my true unbridled thought process whenever I come across a story. And the difficult thing for me is to weigh up what my natural reaction is to a certain topic and also providing you with an educational thought through element to that story. Okay. And I've been reflecting around whether or not I've been able to do that adequately over the past, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks on certain stories. And whilst I'd like to say that I'd been 100% successful, maybe my success rate isn't as good as that. Maybe it's a 90, maybe it's a 95, I don't quite know. But what I want to avoid doing is stoking the fire of conspiracy as much as I possibly can. And I'm not too sure that maybe in the last 3, 4 weeks I've been able to do that one successfully 100% of the time. And so when I say this channel isn't about financial advice, it isn't. It's simply there to give you food for thought, to help you ask the next question. And I feel maybe what I need to try and do moving forward for the benefit of everyone is to perhaps help you think about what that next question is, but clearly state what the next question is, or clearly state where the next route of research might be. The difficulty with that is I don't know where you're coming from, and I don't know, based on the amount of people that watch the videos and who watch the videos, what the correct question is for every single person. So this is where, for me, I have to kind of get my head around how do I make sure that I stay away from stoking outrage to a certain extent. I think when we think about state of the government, taxes, that kind of stuff, there is a natural outrage anyway. There are things that I'm not happy with either. And I will still articulate those things. And I think that's only proper, that's only right to do so. But with specific topics or subjects that we come across around mortgages, investing, pensions, those types of things, I will try to be as objective as I possibly can. One thing that I do appreciate is the fact that, yes, whilst I don't like the term finfluencer, I hate it, in fact. I am an influencer in the financial space, and what we say, what I say, what I share on the channel has weight. And that's one thing that I want to be able to respect and hold in the right regard. And I would encourage you, if you feel that maybe I don't necessarily do that, please let me know in the comment section. Um, Sometimes it's hard to read people's criticism sometimes, but also I appreciate that I'm making content on a public forum. So sometimes criticism is actually due. What I can't control is how people interpret information. And that's where it becomes a slippery slope, because the only thing that I can do is control how I intend to explain something, or how I intend to frame and position something for the video. Not everyone's going to get the point. For example, there are lots of instances where we'll talk about, premium bonds or ISAs or pensions or whatever it might be, where the context and the subject is so vast that it's impossible for me to hit absolutely every single point in a 10-minute video, for example. And you will see people say, well, you didn't mention this, you should have mentioned this. It's like, yes, but at the time, creating the video, I didn't think it was either relevant or an important topic to tag onto it, because it will make it more complex. It's really, really hard. What I'm trying to say is I can control what I can control, and that's what I try to do to my best of my ability 99.999% of the time. And I hope that comes across in the videos. But look, please do not take anything that you hear here on the channel as financial advice. I honestly, it's one of the things that for me, I want to be true to the original intent of the channel. Yes, we're covering a lot of news and the economy because it's important that we help you understand what that means for you and your pocket, and where I can do explainers to bring it to life. Um, but at the same time, how you receive that information is the unknowable for me. And so please, please, please take these things as a point of research. Like, for example, the premium bond video and the ISA video, for example, on tax-free cash, people are saying, well, I'm going to cash in my premium bond. Like, no, that wasn't the point of the video. In the premium bond video, was simply just saying that, if they reduce the premium bond rate that funds the prizes, you've got to think about whether you're getting enough prizes being paid to you to outstrip inflation, which is the whole reason why you save and invest in the first place. If you're not keeping up with the inflation rate, then effectively your money is losing value. You can buy less with that money. So it's really, really important to kind of sit with the knowledge, with the information, and try and digest it and use it for further research. I feel like I rambled on a little bit there, but I think this is an important video to make. I appreciate your attention on this, and I look forward to providing some more information and videos for you this week. As always, if you've not already subscribed, please consider subscribing, hit that notification bell. You'll get notified when I upload videos like this. And if you did get value from this video, even if it is just a simple point, consider smashing that like button as well, because it will just mean that it gets pushed to other people who may need to see this as well. I'll see you in a video later on today. Cheers.